One of the good things about interacting with people on social mediums such as YouTube and Quora, like in the comment section or even the one-on-one interactions that we have is I learn quite a bit from the other people and I get to see things from their perspectives. And B, it also gives me good ideas for further posts, videos, and all that. So it's quite fun. I've recently had a lot of interaction in the past few days where a lot of ideas have come about that. So I really appreciate people who do provide comments and who do just kind of give those further, food for thought points that I do take away, and sometimes I recycle those into ideas for new videos. So an important or an interesting theme that recently came about is why are people so attracted to narcissists or other manipulative people who have that certain magnetism about them, sometimes people with psychopathic traits. Why are people attracted to those personalities even after they know who those people are, and even after they understand the damage that those people can cause if you kind of engage with them at a very deep emotional level? And the reason I found that interesting was because I can relate to that, obviously, because even though you understand certain types of personalities, and even though you can identify certain people with those types of personalities, maybe you still find them interesting. Maybe you still want to get dangerously close to them, if you would. Um, and the way I see it is, they these people recognize your deficits. I I don't think it's unreasonable to say that everybody or most people have some form of deficit. And when I say deficit, it's something about you that you want, or something that you've been lacking in your life. Maybe you've lacked a certain closeness of connections with people. Maybe you've lacked a certain recognition for your ideas and just your existence of being somebody who's unique and special, and who deserves a certain level of attention. Maybe you feel you're lacking in that department because you haven't had it historically as much as you would like. Or maybe you just feel there's somebody out there who would be the perfect person to complete you, and you just feel there's somebody there. I'm going to find my fulfillment through another person, but I haven't found them yet. So you're kind of lacking in that department. And there's countless other, you know, areas where you might feel that you're lacking. Those are just some examples. The fact that you haven't, the fact that you're feeling a deficit in those areas, the fact that you haven't had that fulfillment, that's what can give you that susceptibility to narcissists and other manipulators. Because let's just say they're quite good at noticing that in you, and they're also quite good at appealing to those parts of you. So they're creating that connection. Think about it this way: you've there's certain things that you've wanted your whole life, but it's always felt outside of reach. It's just been outside your reach. You've never quite achieved it. Maybe you're 20, maybe you're 30, maybe you're 70, maybe you're 80 years old. I mean, there's no real age for these things. Anybody can feel a deficit, and some people spend their whole lives feeling a deficit, or certain areas of deficit, until you reach the point where you kind of feel like you can never achieve that, almost like it's outside your reach, almost as if it's unattainable, like it's illegal in your personal reality to achieve that, because it hasn't come to you. And then when the narcissist, when somebody presents themselves to you as being someone who can provide, who can give you those things, you kind of see them as that forbidden fruit. Like, okay, these things I've wanted, my life has showed me that I've never been able to attain those things. And most likely, you've been looking for those things in other people as opposed through yourself. So it's kind of like the forbidden fruit in a sense that it just doesn't feel attainable. But then all of a sudden, somebody comes with an easy solution for you. They schmooze you. They really warm you up to the idea of them. And if you allow yourself to get dangerously close, you'll receive that intense love bombing and idealization, which just pulls you in that much further. And then you feel euphoric. You feel, okay, I can actually have these things. I'm feeling these things I've always wanted to feel. This is magnificent. The love bombing is really taking effect on me. You're really warming up to this person. But part of you knows that cannot be sustained. But because you were in that deficit, because you were somewhat desperate, you're kind of riding this wave that you just don't know how to jump off of. It's a big, big high wave. It's like a tsunami of a wave. The reason I say that is because when it crashes, it causes a lot of devastation, and you twist and twirl with it. But it's really about that. Why someone who you know who they are, they're not going to be good for you. Why do you find them so attractive? They're appealing to those things about you. Those gaps that you so much want to be filled, so much want to be, just for those things to be massaged within you, in a certain realization of personal ambitions and personal feelings, because you haven't been able to feel kind of healthy in your own skin in those respects. So you've been looking for that through another person, and all of a sudden the narcissist or the psychopath or anyone who comes with that charm all of a sudden is your solution. But we do learn, and sometimes it is necessary, in my view, in my judgment. Some people disagree, but I'd say sometimes it is necessary to go through that cycle of riding that wave of a tsunami where you feel like you can have everything you've ever wanted, and then you sort of have that crash afterwards, and then you're like, what the hell just happened? Because once you've been through that cycle, the next time around, when somebody presents themselves as being your solution, as being your wish fulfillment, you very vividly in the back of your mind, maybe even in the forefront of your mind, you're thinking, okay, I know this comes with a crash. Your rational mind doesn't fall prey to your emotional mind, and you can kind of hold your ground. And not only that, when you ride the tsunami and crash, you then start looking for those fulfilling things in more healthy places. But just as an overarching point, obviously you can get fulfillment through other people. If you're feeling good about yourself, really good, and you kind of you're in a good place, and then somebody interests you and they kind of make you feel good, that's the right way to go about it, because relationships are meant to be good, and the people can give you that wish fulfillment, that kind of good feeling. But the point I was making earlier is around people who are extremely attracted to toxic people, the fake charmers, because they're so much lacking within. And that's an important distinction. If you're full of kind of emotion, if you're full of emotional holes within yourself, if you're completely, not in a good place, and you're trying to work on yourself, when you're not in a good place, that's not the time where you should seek out relationships, especially serious ones, because you're going to attract these people. But when you're in a pretty good place, you can, because you're attracting like for like. So it's just about thinking, okay, I have this urge to connect with this person. I think this person might be healthy for me. The question you should think is, okay, is this connection coming from a place of me being broken, me being desperate, me being in deficit? If so, you might want to hold back a bit, okay? But if it's coming from a place of, actually, I'm clear-minded, I feel like I have forward movement, this feels like the next logical step, and then that's probably the right way to go. So it's all about where you're coming from. But going back to the basic point, it's completely understandable why some people, when they're feeling unfulfilled, deeply unfulfilled, and they just can't quite bridge that gap, fill those holes, why they find toxic people attractive, even though they know the dangers that those people present. But on the plus side, it's all a learning experience. It's all life, and like I've said before, with the right mindset, nothing bad happens without potential good stuff to come from that.